So the Super Bowl was last night, and we were watching it. We streamed it, actually. It was kind of cool because we don't have cable, but we do have a Fire Stick, and we've got Hulu Plus and Netflix and stuff like that, because we only really watch movies and particular programs, and if we sit around and watch TV, then we're going to find something to watch. So this way it's a lot more, straightforward in terms of moderating and being able to really just kind of lock things down. So anyway, watching the Super Bowl last night, and the kids were picking up on all the beer commercials. Sponsored by Budweiser, and here's another beer commercial, and there's another beer commercial. And they were really paying attention to it, and when they start to draw it out, you start to realize that it's basically all beer commercials, which is kind of professional football anyway. It's always been Budweiser, Bud Light, something like that. But I guess the thing is with kids pay a lot more attention than we think they do. And the fact that they kept pointing out the beer commercials really kind of brought my attention to, how much they pay attention to things. And I think that, when you're a grown-up, you have to consider that, obviously you're a role model for your kids, but if you're going to sit around and watch sports and yell and get shit-faced, that's not a good idea. That's not really setting a good example for your kids, and I think it breeds common behavior. So there's nothing wrong with getting together and having a group of friends come over and having some beers and watching the game and stuff, but the problem becomes excess, and I think that there are a lot of people that are guilty of the same thing I'm guilty of, and that's if you start, you can't really stop. You don't really stop until you're really done. When it comes to drinking, I'm famously bad about that. I'm just, I'll drink until it's gone. I've gotten a lot better about it, and I'm able to regulate. But I think one thing more than anything else that's really sort of helped me bring awareness to my own situation is the fact that I've got kids, and the kids are watching me, and the kids know that I'm, doing that, and they're picking up on it. They're seeing that that's okay behavior. That's something that's acceptable. It's socially acceptable. It's, it's morally acceptable, I guess you could say. But it's really not. I mean, I think that, too often up here you hear about people that are, people that are like ODing, and, they've got their kids there with them, and it's like there's a new story every week of some lady or some dude who overdoses, and then they've got their 4-year-old kid that's like there and doesn't know what to do, winds up in the neighbor's house, or somebody finds the mother or the father, and it's just a bad scene. And I think with the drug problems that we're having now, what we're seeing is a lot of a lot of behavior that's sort of been ingrained from an early age, potentially. There's peer pressure, there's just the fact that it's available, but I think we can do a good job of helping our kids out by really trying to be cognizant of that, making sure that we set good examples, and just not doing things to excess when the kids are around. Last night I had a couple of glasses of wine, 3 actually, which is 2 more probably than I should have had. But I wasn't yelling or being excessive or anything like that, and I wasn't getting sloppy. We've been in situations where we've had get-togethers, and it's easy to let things go. It's easy to just kind of like let your hair down and get sloppy and get silly, and that's fun. There's a certain element of fun to doing something like that, to really just kind of like letting things go and just having a good time. But when you've got the kids around, you have to consider that you're responsible for those kids. You have to be able to provide guidance and demonstrate effective parenting and make sure that they're taken care of and fed and protected and everything else. And then it's really easy for things to go from fun and okay to over the edge. So be a grown-up. Make sure that you take care of your kids when it's one of those situations, and set a good example.